Hey guys, welcome back to another episode in Star Wars Theory. In the Bad Batch Season 2 trailer, we finally get to see Cody once again since his betrayal of Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith during Order 66. Cody was talking to Crosshair and he was explaining how a lot of the clones are questioning the Order. Now to me, this is something I always wondered as a kid when Revenge of the Sith came out. I was 15 years old and I wondered if any clones felt bad for what they did to the Jedi, or if any even didn't follow orders. Now we really start to dive more into that world with the Bad Batch and even with Clone Wars Season 7 near the end. I think it's a huge wormhole to dive into and explore why some disobey and why most obey. Now, we're going to talk about a theory I have, which is that Cody will turn back to the light side, and also discussing why he said many clones are questioning Order 66 lately. So in Rex's case, for example, his attachment and love for Ahsoka bought her a few seconds before he pulled the trigger. However, with Jesse, he never hesitated. So why this discrepancy? I believe some inhibitor chips either weren't put in properly in the ones disobeying, or it maybe wore off over time. Or perhaps some of the clones were able to override this sort of command. There's also the question of what happened to them in battle. For example, when Crosshair had that explosion near his head, did that burn out the chip in his brain that forced him to execute Order 66? Is he acting on free will? Now, I think he is, and that he just hates his brothers and has a different way of thinking about how the galaxy should be run. I think this is probably one of my biggest questions about the clones, which I'm really excited to have answered. Why some disobey the Order or question it while others follow it until the end of time. For example, the Empire switched to regular enlistees from all over the galaxy to become stormtroopers. Now, there were still clones alive, and they were getting very old in the ranks as stormtroopers now. They were responsible for the training of the new humans and aliens that enlisted as stormtroopers for the Empire, which Palpatine transitioned to because he wanted bigger numbers instead of just highly trained but fewer clones, which were very expensive. Now, there's also the case where the clones may not even see or hear Order 66 to be executed, like Cut, the clone from the first season of the Bad Batch, who we also saw in the Clone Wars. He lived out on that farm and didn't get any access to Palpatine's orders, so he didn't hear it. Now, when Crosshair replies and tells him that they are all traitors just like the Jedi, Cody gives him a side eye, and it kind of looks like he's starting to question things for himself, as if he's thinking, what if they're not all traitors? What if we should be questioning the orders given to us? I believe the clones, while programmed to follow orders blindly due to the chip in their heads and their cloning and training, are also able to see the vast difference in their relationship with the Jedi. And some may even question why this discrepancy is taking place. Why are they actually questioning the Order? And in that question itself, they will in turn question perhaps why they are following such orders. Why were they once loyal and fought alongside the Jedi generals who were their friends, only now to have killed them all and are ordered to do so due to the Jedi's alleged betrayal? Now, you might ask, what exactly did they betray? Well, that answer has been given in many of the novels and comics, but I'll briefly state that Palpatine made it very clear at the Senate hearing after the Jedi attacked him that the attempt on his life was treason and left him scarred and deformed, as we saw in the film. That the Jedi tried to spy on him, and that had his protector not been there to save him, he'd be dead. He made the galaxy and the clones believe the Jedi were on a quest of power and control of the Senates, and that they were going to take over the galaxy if not wiped out. I think Cody's relationship with Obi-Wan Kenobi perhaps may make him second guess things now that some time has passed. Maybe he's able to critically think and the inhibitor chip isn't as powerful as it used to be, or perhaps his brain has become stronger and his will has become stronger and he's able to kind of revert back to who he originally was. Now, the thing with the clones is that they were bred to obey. They weren't exactly as autonomous as Jango Fett was. Now, Cody to Obi-Wan was like Rex to Anakin, I think. And if Rex paused Order 66 for Ahsoka for a few seconds, I'm sure he would have done the same for Anakin as well. So I like to believe that Cody, while not as close to Kenobi as Rex was to Ahsoka or Anakin maybe, will eventually come around to at least questioning why so many clones are questioning the Order, and this in turn will lead him to question his own beliefs and way of living through Order 66. As for Crosshair, I think he'll continue to just hate his brothers and want to keep fighting alongside the Empire. He doesn't care if the clones question it or not. He just kind of sees things as black and white. If you're for the Empire, then you are executing Order 66. And if you are not executing Order 66 or even questioning your orders, then you are betraying the Empire just like the Jedi. And that's the thing with Crosshair, is that he's very black or white. He's very this or that, which makes him very dangerous because you can't really reason with the guy. It's like if you don't stand with him, then you're ultimately just need to be wiped out. Whereas, there might be a bit of a Bendu situation where you might be in between. He seems like he's pretty closed off to hearing any sort of explanation of anyone else's point of view. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Cody will eventually turn back to the light side? Will he become a good guy again? Or is this kind of just game over for Cody? He's always going to be evil. And he's just going to be questioning why people are questioning the Order rather than actually deep diving and maybe doing a little soul searching and being like, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't need to follow these orders as much as I thought I did. Anyways, this is one of the most interesting things that I find with the clones is, did they all end up following these orders? And if they didn't, why or why not? Why do some follow while others stray away and want to have a mind of their own? Now, we know Rex had to take his inhibitor chip out, and he was super close with Ahsoka, and I would say super unique. So it's really up in the air as to how this inhibitor chip really works, and maybe it fades away over time. And if that's the case, do they end up fighting for the good side, or do they continue on their path? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I love hearing your guys' opinions. Thanks for watching today's theory video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, remember, the Force will be with you always.